Chase, NoBull Money Hour. The next 60 minutes will be filled with information about real estate and alternative investment ideas, business news, the wealthy lifestyle, and entertainment. Now, here are your hosts for the show, Sid and Julie Chase.
Good morning, Myrtle Beach. You are at the right place at the right time. Welcome to our NoBull Money Hour show with myself, Sid, and my wife, Julie.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us again this week. Let's get you started right out with some Wall Street market brief.
Well, before we do that, two quick things.
Okay.
Hot Talk 99.5 obviously is where we're at.
Yes.
But if anybody wants to call in today, you can call in at 843-839-9950. And our main man David in there will get you hooked up and get you in on the show with us. 843-839-9950. And if you also want to see what we look like instead of just hearing our voices, we are on live on Facebook this morning at the Sid Chase Investment Group on Facebook page.
Yes.
All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is what happened last week, actually, Julie.
Okay.
We had a little economic reports that I would suggest that everybody might want to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
So this week, though, well, for last week, not a whole lot happened. The market kind of just stayed the way it was and nothing exciting happened. But if anybody missed it, on Friday was the motor vehicle sales, and GM actually did really, really good. So they went from about 100 and I think it was 27 days of inventory down to about 87 days, and Ford went in the opposite direction. So they went over 100 days of inventory for their vehicles.
So there might be some good deals out there with Ford coming
Yep,
up.
exactly, and that's why we're saying that, bringing it to your attention, folks, is
Okay.
because if you're in the market for a car, and if it happens to be a Ford, you might want to wait a couple, 2-3 weeks maybe, and go down and see if you can get your old car that you've been driving since maybe 19 something, and get that thing traded in.
Get yourself an update.
That's right. Get yourself a new update, make yourself feel a little bit better, but keep it as low amount of years paying it back as possible.
That's right.
That's the ticket right
Yeah.
there. So this week, though, going on in the market, well, first of all, everybody's off tomorrow.
That's
Well,
right.
the markets are off tomorrow.
Mhm.
Hopefully, the most of you are off tomorrow,
Yeah.
being Labor Day, and we both, from us, want to wish everybody an enjoyable Labor Day.
Yes.
And I did put a phone call in to somebody upstairs, and hopefully we get no rain,
That would be nice.
so everybody can enjoy the beach, the backyard, the barbecue, or whatever it may be. But Tuesday, again, nothing exciting going on. Wednesday is mortgage applications at 7 a.m. That's important for
Yes,
for
that's important
the
for us.
handyman people.
Yep.
It's important for the home builders, developers. Hopefully, we're going to see that be up again this week. And on Thursday, there's actually a whole lot of stuff going on Thursday. But the most important thing is the jobless claims. So hopefully we'll see that go down.
Yeah.
We want less jobless claims,
Yes.
right? Like to
Yeah.
be under that 4% number, preferably.
Yeah.
But if it goes up, it's a two-edged sword no matter how you look at it. There's lots of us camps out there in the world, and so some of us want to see it go down, and some of us might want to see it go up a little bit, because if it goes up, then maybe the economy's not quite so strong, and that'll hold off the Fed,
The crooks from last week.
the
we were
thieves.
talking about?
That's
Yeah.
a strong word, crook.
Okay,
I said
thieves.
Yeah. They won't raise that interest rates on us
Okay.
anytime this year for sure, and I don't think they're going to do that anyways. I
Good.
really don't.
Good.
Friday is the consumer credit report,
Mhm.
so either people are going to be happy or they're not going to be happy spending money,
Some do it anyway.
even if they don't have a job.
That's right.
Right. So
Credit cards are bad.
credit cards can be very bad. You should only actually have one credit card.
Yes.
Get your airplanes, your hotels, car rental, things like that. And all these guys, all these credit card companies, I know this is not where we're supposed to be going, but all these credit card folks out there are saying, cash back and this and that if you use the card. That's just another trap, folks. It
Yes,
really
it
is just
is.
another trap. So don't fall for that one.
What's going on in South Carolina?
South Carolina's got a lot going on. They really do. As I said last week, these folks are knocking the ball out of the park. There's a lot going on, but let's narrow that down. So there is the business license reform.
Mhm.
It's bill number H3650, South Carolina Building Codes Reform. That's S579. Here's a really important one. Now, those first two are more for your, builders, handyman, plumbers, your air conditioning guys, all of that kind of stuff, But this next one is for pretty much, I don't know the number, but
lot of Horry County?
a lot of Horry County people, especially if you're in the Grand Strand area.
Yeah.
It is the Homeowners Association Reform Bill. It's H3886. And then the other one is the infrastructure funding. Now those two there, that everybody should know about those. Everybody should read about those so that you know what's going on, you know where your money's going, and you know what to expect from your HOA, and what the HOA can expect from you. And if you have a voice, you might want to chime in on any of those, you can do that.
Right.
But here's where you go to look at them to read more, because they're so in depth and so kind of boring type of thing. But for those of you who are interested in those, you can go to www.hbaofsc.com
Great. Well,
and
thank you
check
for
those
sharing
out.
that. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome, of course.
Well, last week we shared a little bit with our listeners about we shared some pre-retirement statistics.
I'm glad you said that word.
I know.
If you missed last week's show, you can listen to it on our YouTube page, the Sid Chase Investment Group. Hit subscribe if you would, and share and like it.
Yes.
If you're going to do anything negative, drive it towards Julie. I can't handle that. So no, I'm just kidding. But if you would do that, and what else? What was the most interesting thing to you, Julie?
For
about
me, last week's most interesting thing was that 90% of the people interviewed that are in their 60s and 70s say they're satisfied with life today. That makes me excited and look forward to my 60s and 70s.
And I just have a short few 6 corners to turn, and I'll be there.
Yes.
6 corners. That's the way I look at it.
That's a good way to look at it.
6 corners, and I'll be there.
Well, we're going to take go ahead. Finish.
We're going to do what? No, we're going to take a short break,
Yes,
I think,
we need
now.
to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about how to make money during retirement.
Wait a minute. Isn't there a problem with that? Making money during retirement? I'm supposed to be retired.
Well, some people get bored.
No, they want to go on an extra trip. They want to have an extra meal. They want to have that Starbucks. And I shouldn't have said that name. Darn it.
No.
But anyways, and then the other place, and then the new place that we got on 501 there, the new Krispy Kreme.
Yes.
People are that place is just mad
Busy.
crazy. What was it, 8 o'clock the other night we came home from going out Friday night.
Mhm.
We drove by it, and there was, between them on one side of the street, folks, and Taco Bell on the other side of the street, that line for getting, your drive-through
Yes,
was
drive-through.
amazingly just packed with people.
Mhm.
Couldn't believe it. So come right back and after the ad and commercial, and we'll talk some more.
With more than 17 years experience, Chase Signature Homes delivers high-quality craftsmanship on your lot or on theirs. Each member of the team brings a unique set of skills, but they all have one common interest: the passion for home building and a commitment to the homeowner. With online client access, you'll love building your new home. All the details of your
That's
custom
included in
home
our
during
YouTube
construction
channel.
are right at your fingertips. Chase Signature Homes looks forward to serving you. Call today at 843-839-1006. That's 843-839-1006. Or check them out on the web at ChaseSignatureHomes.com. That's ChaseSignatureHomes.com. Feel free to call in and talk with Sid and Julie at 843-839-9950. It's the NoBull Money Hour with Sid and Julie Chase.
Hey, welcome back everybody to the NoBull Money Hour show with Sid and Julie.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to share a little bit about how to make money during retirement. So here are a few ideas to make money during retirement.
Nobody really wants to do this, but no, well, you get to your retirement ages, most people don't want to work. Some people want to because they need to. And when I say need to, it means they just want to get up out of the house because maybe one spouse or the other got the honey-do list too long.
Or they're not used to being together all day and one is really fed up with the other.
Right, and then the other part of it is, like we said before the commercial, is that they want to be able to do a little bit more things, or maybe they haven't quite recovered totally from the downturn in the markets, and which most people should be almost, as long as they didn't sell, most people should be back to where they were when the market crashed.
Yeah.
I know we are. We are, and we're actually ahead of the game again. So that's good. But this first one, I really took me a little bit to have to write this one down and talk.
It's just an idea.
It's just an idea. So all of these, and why don't you speak about that? These are just ideas.
Just ideas.
To help maybe jog the mind.
Yeah.
That's it. So they may not all fit for you.
Just to fill in a little bit if you're bored or.
Yeah. Just stay tuned. We'll find one that fits for you. Temporary agency work. Ugh, who wants to go to a temporary agent? Not too many people, but you need to have a lot of free time with these folks because you never know when they're going to call you. Right. The cool thing about it though is one day you might be working at a marketing firm and the next day you might be working at a real estate firm and the next day you might be working at some secretary for a lawyer or something, so you don't know where you're going to be. So that's kind of fun, and they are very flexible. Well, they should be very flexible because they need you. You may not necessarily need them, but they should be very flexible on, okay, hey, I'm going to take the next month off, to go do some things. So, temp agency work. The other thing is sell stuff. So maybe some of you just moved down here, maybe some of you have already been here all your lives, time to downsize, start selling your stuff off, making a little extra cash, using that money to invest. We'll give you some investing ideas later in the show for where you could put some of the...
Your mom did something like that over the years. She collected many antiques, and when her and Dad went to downsize, she sold off a lot of those.
Yeah, well, Dad always called that stuff junk.
Yes, he did, but
until
it wasn't a junk check.
It was not. She'd say, Bob, how do you like my junk check now? I'll never forget those days. Oh, man. So, but my mom actually was became the largest sad iron dealer in the world. She had thousands and thousands and thousands of sad irons. And they used to bring her over to England every year for the sad iron show and for her to represent the U.S. and speak and things like that.
Did you go?
I was never allowed to go.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
I know you went on many trips. Mom and Dad took you a lot of places.
Took us on a lot of trips. Yeah. I was kind of the only child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your siblings were older. So.
Yes, much older. Okay, so weekly auctions. Now this is something that you and I actually enjoyed.
Yes.
So what we used to do to make a little extra money, and actually became a business for us, we would go around to all the auctions. Now you can do it online. There's a lot of stuff you can get online auctions, but we would go around to the local auctions and buy up stuff that we thought that we would like to have, try to get it at the obviously cheapest price as possible, and we would then turn around on the weekends and put it out in front of our house and sell the stuff.
Well, we had bought your mom's antique store, and so it just kind of grew from there, and it got quite large.
That was actually our very, very first business together. Was we were on our honeymoon in Lake Placid, New York. Which is was very inexpensive. No sense of spending $10 or $20,000 on a wedding. I said that twice, folks, because one of my sons and his fiance are getting married. So that's how we got started with our first business, and it kind of bloomed from there. Yep.
But that was a lot of fun.
It was. Sharing your knowledge. So there's a lot of smart people out there. A lot of you are very smart. And you have some type of specialty skill set that you did while you were in your working years. It could have been anything from an accountant to maybe you played music, or maybe you worked for a marketing firm, or and maybe you did pottery or something like that. Golf.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be good at golf.
Yeah, it didn't necessarily have to be a career, but
Right, it doesn't have to be a career, but if you
You're really
can
good
swing
doing
and
it.
hit that little white ball in a straight direction, you might want to call in and tell me, because I have a very difficult time doing that, and I would pay for somebody to teach me to go to the driving range.
Sid can't play on his own
Right.
fairway, is that what it's called?
Yeah, whatever the green grass is in front of you, I tend to play on the one to the right or to the left of it. But look,
Look out!
with that being said, I just want to add a little bit something in there, and it doesn't just go for golf, it can go for anything. You don't have to be an expert like a Tiger Woods or
Right.
Jack Nicholson or any of those guys. You know, what you need to be is better than the person that you're actually teaching.
Yes.
That's it. So when you say trying to get somebody like that to, you know, hire you to teach them how to do something, just be upfront and honest with them and say, hey, I'm the greatest driver, I'm the, you know, I can play the drums, and hey, if anybody out there knows how to play the drums, I'm looking to learn. All right, so
You
what
are?
I am. Right, I'm gonna pass it on to our grandchildren.
Oh, the kids will love that.
Maybe language.
Yeah.
Maybe a language.
Mhm.
You know, I took Spanish in school, and I skipped the last day. Very last day I skipped, and she gave me a 64 because I skipped.
Oh.
She was very mean to me, Mrs. Burns.
You even remember her
Yes,
name.
I do remember her name. Yeah. Okay. So what else we got?
Well, you could show your crafty side. If you know how to make things. A lot of my family can crochet. If you know how to do woodwork.
Mhm.
I mean, you could make things and sell it.
My parents did that.
Yes.
They would do the holiday stuff.
Yes.
So, you know, Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the bigger holidays.
Yeah.
My
You're
mom
quite a team with that.
mom would draw the stuff all out.
Yeah.
My dad then would trace it over to the wood. He'd cut it all out in the wood shop and then bring it back in. They would sand it together, and then my mom had the steady hand, so she would do all the painting.
Yes.
And actually, you did it for a little while when we had very little.
Yes.
And you were making snow angels or something?
Yeah, some angels.
Some angels,
Yes.
and you sold those things like crazy.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. That was a lot of fun.
So woodworking, sewing, hemming dresses. I have a stack of clothes at my house, folks, that I've been trying to get done, sewed up for 2 years. So if anybody out there knows how to do that, again, email us, give us a call. I'll get them clothes right over to you, because they're perfectly good clothes.
Yeah.
Somebody
don't have time.
She is not the sewer.
Painting.
Painting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not like painting a room, but
it could
artwork.
be. I mean, if you're
Well,
a good
yeah,
painter and you
yeah.
want to hire yourself out, but we're more talking about art and things
Yes.
like that.
or good drawing.
Or drawings,
Yes.
yep, if you're a good drawer. But going back to the fly fishing thing, I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier, but fly fishing where you make the little flies.
Yes.
So a little quick story on that. My nephew, now he's actually in his prime, you know, so he's
Yeah.
still working and doing really well for himself. And but he's taken up fly fishing. He taught himself how to make the flies,
Oh.
and now he is on Instagram with them. And I think he's selling some of them. He's doing really good
Wow.
with that.
Good for
And
him.
so that's something else. You know, he's doing it to sock the money away, because he's actually going to be starting a fly fishing business. They live in, I believe, in Connecticut now, and they're moving to Utah, and so that's why he's doing that.
and
He's
that's something
preparing
he
himself.
loves. And that's really what you should do. It's got to be something you love. And
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And anything else we
No.
got going on? Yes, we have it. Do you have an extra bedroom? Maybe an extra space or something in your home that you
Yes.
could rent out? There's this place called Airbnb. So
AIR
AIR. Go ahead.
BNB.com, I believe.
Yep. So you can go on there, folks. I believe it's free to set up your account.
Mhm.
You can go on there and you can rent a room. You can rent your whole house. Actually, we're getting ready to do that
Yeah, my brother's wedding. Yeah, they did that in Tennessee.
in Tennessee.
The
So
whole
we
house.
went to Airbnb,
Mhm.
and I think there's 11 of us, and we all
Yes.
got one big house to rent.
Mhm.
And so you could do that also. You know, you can also do it like if you want to go on vacation for 2 weeks. Maybe go on Airbnb, put your house up, and obviously maybe have a manager, you know, somebody manager, a
Right,
friend next
right.
door to help out with it.
Watch
But
things.
that's
Yeah.
a possibility also, you know, because you really dictate who comes in. You know, it's not
Yes.
like it's not like a regular rental that
Yeah.
you would have. You know,
Yeah, it's not
so
like
you
a
really,
regular management company.
yep, you really have a
setting
lot
it
of
up.
control over that. So that's an idea. Airbnb.
Yeah. You can do some gardening for profit. if you have a green thumb. Unfortunately, I don't.
Luckily I do, but I don't like the garden. I'm a houseplant guy.
I do like to work outside, but it's got to be plants that I'm gonna replant every year because they don't seem to make it.
Yeah. One of the first things we talked about, I might have mentioned this last week before we got married 26 years ago, was I said to her, I do all the indoor work. I'll do the laundry, I'll help you with the floors and clean, and I'll do the dishes and do dinner and stuff like that, but I will not go outside.
Sid's not a manual labor kind of guy.
No, I actually have a note from the doctor that says I can't get dirty. Did you know that, Dave? No manual labor.
I need to go to that doctor.
Yes. You could write about yourself,
Yep.
or write about something that you're passionate about.
Yes.
You know, so I've written a few books.
Mhm.
Okay, no bestsellers yet, but I am writing books. I'm actually writing another one right now about alternative investments. That should hopefully be out sometime in, I believe, January, I think. And my second book is now on iTunes and Amazon and Barnes and Noble and all of that. And
Yeah.
that one will be in paperback, I believe, in late October. So that'll be available. And that's a 365 book. So it's 1 page a day that you got to read, just 1 page a day. It's a motivational book.
Yes.
Yep. It's a lot of my friends' smart remarks kind of thing. Not really. It's
Not
uplifting
all of
stuff.
them.
But you could write about yourself. Or write about something else that you're passionate about. One of those places you could do that is, and you get paid for it. Remember, everything we're talking about is trying to help you make extra money. And it is medium.com. Medium.com. So you go there, again, they have a free, you get on there, you set yourself up, and you write your first article. And really what you could do is, no, I don't want to say that yet. We're going to save that part for the second half of the show. Right. Okay, so you can become a local tour guide. Now, for some of those that don't want to deal with people, this is not going to be a good idea.
Yeah,
but you could become a local tour guide. And even if you just moved down here, you know, you could do it. Right? Because you don't need to buy a big truck. You don't need to buy a limousine. You know, you just need your vehicle. You need to put an ad out there and say, hey, if you're new to the area, I'll be happy to drive you around for an hour or two and show you blah, 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 blah.
Our friend Simon did that when we went to Australia.
Yeah, we spent almost 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks there, and he did that for us.
He took us to amazing places, and there's no way we'd have found those by ourselves. But
no, almost anywhere in the world that you go, you can get a local guide. So why not do it here? You know, most places do it in New York City, Los Angeles, you know, Miami, where all the celebrity stuff are. But believe it or not, folks, there's a lot of celebrities here in Myrtle Beach. There is. They're just kind of. I think Johnny Depp is here now. I haven't confirmed a site on it yet.
I haven't seen him.
I did hear that he was here. So, but I'm not talking about him. There's a lot of other people that are here too that are laying low. So, yep, the local tour guide. Set up your own little Facebook page. Maybe put some ads out on Craigslist. I would like to do that. That would be fun for me because I'm a historic guy.
Yes,
so my tour would be about the historic part of Myrtle Beach and how it came to be where it is today. You know, that would be my thing. We kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but this is a little bit different. Rent out your expertise. Caregiver, babysitter, pet sitter, home sitter, and we're going to actually talk about the home sitter thing.
Yeah, we have a friend
in the second phase of the show today. Online, this should be a favorite for everybody. They're gonna say, Sid, Julie, all the other ones were great, but this is the one that we need to be doing. I need to do, and it's selling wine. Right? Most baby boomers or people that are in retirement right now, that's the wine. I mean, you see the sales at Costco. Yep. See, David's having one right now. So no, he's not. I'm just kidding. We'll get in trouble for that. I'm just kidding. Very much. I'm just kidding. But selling wine, there's a lot of wine places popping up all over the place.
Yes.
What's the one that we went to last week?
Dublin.
Dublin, I think is how they say it up there by Barefoot Landing.
We were just there, yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. And a lot of the folks that they had in there were retired people selling things and doing the wine what do they call it, wine tasting?
Wine
I
tasting.
didn't taste any wine. I'm not a wine person. Julie is.
Well, you
but
tried the slushies.
I did. I like the
wine
slushies,
slushies, the
except for
frozen
all the
ones.
sugar. But the key thing to the wine thing, folks, is not going to work for somebody so much. It's there's a lot of companies out there that are selling wine that you can actually just go and sell them from your home as long as you have a computer
Yes.
and do it right from there.
Yes.
They're looking for people just, and you're not going out trying to find somebody to buy it. They're doing all the leads for you. They're doing everything. They just want you to sit at home and do the promote for them
Yeah.
and sell.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
really what it
exactly.
comes down to, and that's an easy one.
Yeah.
I mean, you could
Especially if it's something you know.
you could be in flip flops and
I love wine, but
a pair of shorts.
I'm not really.
Well, that's why I got you
Up
that
on it.
app. Don't ask me what the name of it was. I forgot already. VEEMO or something like that. You just walk up to the bottle.
Superior.
Yeah, you hit your button and it'll say exactly what it is, what you should be paying for it, and what you can pair it with.
A meal, I mean.
A meal wise,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, great. I haven't tried it yet. Another thing you can do is browse the web. Did you know you can make money searching the web, watching videos, and filling out surveys?
Now that one could be almost as good as the wine sales one.
Yeah.
You know, and where you go for that, folks, is I'm gonna a little bit of a tough time with this one. Swagbucks.com. There's
Yes.
other sites out there, but that's one of the better ones. Swagbucks.com.
Swagbucks.com.
That you could sit down, watch some videos, take a few surveys, and make a little bit of make a little dollars.
Yeah,
out
and
of
that website's been out for some time now.
Right,
Yeah.
but just so people know, I don't think they actually send you a check. What you do is you decide how you want to get your funds, and some of the choices are gift cards, basically, you know,
Right.
from wherever. So,
Yeah.
but still, that's keeping money in your pocket,
Right,
and that's the
exactly.
way to look at that. So you might
Exactly.
want to give that a check out. The bottom line is, the bottom line, retirement does not have to be the end of making money.
Right.
And it shouldn't be.
No.
I mean, we preach that.
Mhm.
You know, it shouldn't be. You need to build your foundation, depending on when you get out of school and things like that. You build your foundation and then you start. And
you don't even have to wait till you get out of school.
no, you don't. You know, our children didn't. We'll
Yeah.
talk about that in this second half of the show. But so now we're going to talk about some of our, your friends. No, they're my friends too.
Our friends.
So who are the first two we're going to talk about?
Frank and Vale.
Frank and Vale. Yes, we love Frank and Vale.
Yes,
They're
we
good
do.
people. Frank used to actually work for, I believe it was Kodak
Mm-hmm.
in Rochester, New York. And then on the side, he's a car guy, folks. I mean, like through and through. His blood runs cars. Yeah, and American muscle mostly in his Corvettes. But so he was building engines for people that wanted to race on the weekends, drag stripping and stuff. So when he moved down here, he took some of those skill sets and actually went out and got a little part-time job. He works a couple of days a week. He works with the car people and just makes a little bit of extra money on it. And it's stuff that he likes to do, and he really knows his trade there. And
Yeah.
his wife Vale, they used to also owned a tanning salon. And so you remember you and I were looking at tanning salons in
Yes.
Alabama,
Yep, I remember.
right? We should have done it because you're always white. You were definitely a white folk, right? But there's a lot of maintenance and cleaning and that
Yeah.
type of stuff that comes with that.
Mhm.
So she had done that all of her years,
Mhm.
you know, and so now what is she doing?
Oh,
Every Friday night,
yeah, she's got a little cleaning.
she cleans a couple of banks locally and helps pay that car payment, folks.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
just a little something.
Just a little something.
Yep.
My old Army buddy Mike,
Mm-hmm.
he's a few years younger than I am, so he stayed his whole 20 years in the military. I got out after 15, but Mike, him and his wife,
Who are right now in Texas.
who are right now in Texas, so we're thinking about them, and
Yes.
they have a little bit of water issue. They're pretty far north of the situation,
I
but
think
they
their
are
area
getting-
got more rain than.
they got more rain than
Yes.
the wind and stuff.
Yeah.
But what they did is they sold everything off,
Mhm.
house, everything, right? Went out and bought a newer truck, big one, to pull a fifth wheel.
Yes.
And so what they've done is they're camping out. She's still working she got a few more years to go. So
Yeah,
she's still
she's a
working.
teacher.
She's a teacher. But they live right there out of that fifth wheel, the RV
Mhm.
full time. And Mike actually does his new job, right from his fifth wheel.
That's right.
Look, I've seen him, folks. He's got a desk set up in there. He's got his flip flops and his slippers, the warm slippers, right next to his desk.
The ideal
And
job.
he just sits there. And then when they want to move, from like point A to point B, because
Yes.
she gets roughly 3 months off, she does the driving normally, and Mike
is
sits
working.
over there and works his 6 to 8 hours right online, folks. It's really that easy. The point is, there's jobs out there
Yeah.
if you really search for them that
Yeah.
you can do that'll meet your needs.
Yep. Enjoy it.
Yep. And our other friend who we were going to talk about was doing the house sitting.
Yes.
Yes. So she worked in an accounting firm for 30 years, I think it was, and I believe in upstate New York. And she then decided that I don't know if she decided it fell into it or how it happened, but she's actually now house sitting around the country.
She's retired.
She's retired. People
Yeah.
are paying her to house sit,
Mhm.
and she's traveling through the country and doing her thing,
Yeah.
and she's got a small home, back where her main base is,
Right.
for those laps in between.
Mhm.
But what a way to travel.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's amazing. So
and
there's
you get paid to do it.
and you're getting paid to do it, right? And in there you might end up with a pet or two to watch, so pay attention to that. But these are all things
Yes.
that you can do that our
Mhm.
friends did, and maybe
You
you
just
could
Google
do.
them, and if it's something you're interested in, then do a little research on it before you retire and see if it's something you want to do.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So everything that we just talked about, folks, is really about probably leaving your door more than staying in your house. I
Mhm.
know we mentioned a couple of times about staying in the house, but it's really more about leaving your house and working. And so
Yeah,
this
yeah.
next segment after the break is going to be more about
Continuing to build your wealth from home.
more things I can do
at
right
home.
from the house.
Yeah, if you're wanting to be a homebody after leaving the house for the last 40 some years.
Right.
You want to stay home and get some
That sounds good. So right after the break,
right after the break.
we'll
We're
be
gonna
right
talk
back.
about